All right, folks, I've got a spicy Theorycraft for you guys today. I noticed a line on the Animate Guardian gem, the new one with the Smite, that was very interesting to me. So I want to go over what that was and kind of show you a build idea that I have for it. Now, mind you, this build idea is not something that you could easily league start because it has some Exodia pieces that you got to kind of collect. But once you get those pieces, I think this could be a very cool build. So what's the thing that stood out to me? Well, it's this line right here. Using Smite of Divine Judgment, ignoring weapon restrictions. Now, why is this significant? Well, because there's no other way in the game to use a skill like Smite without having to have, the normal thing that goes along with it, which I think is like, swords, maces, things like that, right? What we can do is we can use some very interesting ways to scale this that you could normally never scale this with. And one way that I thought of is scaling poison with Pneumatic Dagger. So Pneumatic Dagger makes it so all damage from hits can poison. Now, the thing about minions is they can get Abyss Jewels, right? So you can stack a lot of flat damage. And then if you can get all of those stacked, the other nice thing about minions is that minion damage is generic damage increase. So it works with poison just as well as it works with any other kind of damage, right? So here's my setup that I'm thinking of. Pneumatic Dagger, Leper's Alms for the increased duration of ailments on enemies. Get a little bit of block there too, then you can get the block nose to keep the AG alive. Then we take Guardian with Unwavering Crusade, and suddenly we have like Elemental Buzzsaw Poison AG. Very interesting. I think this has insane synergy. I feel like this is going to be my second build of the league. Once I collect all the things, because as I said here with the Pneumatic Dagger, this is not something that you're going to get early on in the league. This is a heist-specific item. Might be difficult to get your hands on, but once you can get your hands on this and the other item that's kind of necessary, which is a Gruthkul's Pelt, once you get those two things, I think you can make this build work. So the Gruthkul's gives you 10% life regen so that your AG doesn't die. Then I'm thinking for the glove slot, Embalmers, because you get, again, there's flat damage on it, which is nice, and life is nice, but increased poison duration. So top roll on that one's 25. Top roll on this, well, there's no roll on this, it's just 40. So 65% increased duration of poisons if you have both of these items. And then the question is, what do we do for boots? Now, one option is Wake of Destruction, because you get Shock Ground, which could be really good for damage, and you get the flat added. Another option that's interesting is if you went Replica Alberons, and you stacked flat Chaos damage with Strength, and then you put on your own character the Baron to give your minions Strength, and then you stacked a ton of Strength, you could give even more flat damage. And again, because the Pneumatic Dagger is doing its thing, right? Like, doesn't matter. I mean, Chaos is good for poison anyway, but that means that you're like, all of these things come together and you've got a lot of flat added damage that you can use to scale the poison, the initial poison. All right, and then what are some helm options? So if you wanted to go really dirt cheap, you could get like Onslaught Helmet, because then you just have Perma Onslaught, which is sick. Or something like a Rat's Nest would also be cheap and easy. And then an end game version would be like a Crown of the Tyrant, because you could get more flat added damage. And it actually says nearby enemies have negative 10% to all resistances, not all elemental resistances, all resistances. So I assume that this means chaos as well, which there's not very many sources of this, right? So this could be a really interesting item here as well. And that's it for the build. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I crazy, or is this Theorycraft fire? I'm telling you right now, this is going to be my second build of the league. Once I get the Exodia pieces together, I'm playing this build. Peace out, and have a good one. Like and subscribe. Cheers.